Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com. In this video, we're looking at a brand new GMT offering from Longines, falling underneath the Spirit umbrella with the Zulu time. A GMT watch with a true GMT movement on the inside, coming with a really value-packed proposition when it comes to price. So if you're not familiar with this channel, this is where we cover watches available for purchase on our website, TeddyBaldassarre.com, as a full authorized dealer. So in this video, deep dive on these new timepieces, final points of consideration at the end, but also if you're interested in learning more about these watches and have questions, check out the links in the description down below to the product page where you can learn more as well as purchase the watches as well. But guys, let's jump into the video, take a closer look at the new Zulu times. Now today we're taking a closer look at the new Longines Spirit Zulu time, an extension from the Spirit DNA and a watch that celebrates Longines' storied history of pilot watches, with the brand having timed Charles Lindbergh's nonstop solo transverse of the Atlantic Ocean in 1927, developing military-issued pilot watches, and much more. Now, the Zulu time offers a true GMT movement with COSC certifications and offers plenty of unique upsides that just come from the modern perspective. However, the name Zulu time, we have to actually look back, as it was developed by looking into the impressive archive of the brand, specifically to a 1925 reference that was the first dual time watch ever produced by Longines and featured a Zulu flag on the dial. Zulu time, also known as UTC or Universal Time Coordinated, here refers to time standard utilized by military and aviation organizations. For the purpose of this review, we'll take a look at both a black dial variant on a bracelet as well as a blue dial on a strap to give you the best of both worlds. Now on the wrist, we have a 42mm wide by 49.3mm long Spirit Zulu time that does present a larger wearing experience on the wrist. It does have a thickness just a shade under 14mm when looking at the totality of that height. In addition, the case profile when viewed from the side is relatively straight, though the end links on the bracelet variant do turn sharply down towards the wrist, meaning the measured lug to lug distance here is accurately experienced on the wrist, something that couldn't be said by previous Spirit models. Still, we are dealing with a larger watch overall, wearing true to the 42mm size for myself on the wrist, and will probably pair best with a wrist around 6.75 inches or around 17 centimeters and above. Set between 22mm lugs, the bracelet variant leans into a solid stainless steel 3-link style, tapering to a relatively short push-button deployant clasp that combines a stamped and signed exterior with milled interior components. The strap variant comes with a padded leather strap in a color-matching shade that terminates in one of the most impressive deployant clasps I've seen for this price range and honestly in some time, combining a low overall stack height, neatly hidden strap tail, and a well-executed quick adjustment mechanism that is completely hidden while also allowing for around a centimeter of adjustment even while on the wrist. As is often the case with Longines in this price range, this case and bracelet are also exceptionally well finished, with a mix of brushing and polishing that functions admirably in catching the light while also avoiding any kind of ostentatious or just blingy feel. A crisp bevel travels the case sides from top to bottom with a bidirectional rotating bezel that operates with 24 clicks and features an engraved and color-coordinated ceramic insert. At 3, a screw-down crown with the Longines vintage-style signature is responsible for, along with the closed case back affixed with 6 tiny screws, securing this piece's more than adequate 100 meters of water resistance, another factor in the powerful everyday argument presented by this watch and the model family as a whole. Playing the role of subtle and elegant, the bracelet is mostly brushed with small hits of polishing on the side of the center links. Viewed in totality, the Zulu time case and bracelet are clearly designed to demonstrate an enhanced level of care, but not in a way that distracts from the impressively executed dial that we're going to see. Now, set beneath the safety of a dome sapphire crystal coated with several layers of anti-reflective coating that's going to also be available on both sides, the Spirit dial is another intriguing blend of old and new, balancing heritage aviation DNA with elevated modern finishing techniques. Available in sunray blue, matte black, or anthracite, the Zulu time exhibits a multi-dimensional effect owed to a raised minute track at the circumference, further offset by a polished steel ring where the minute track meets the dial's lower position center. At the 5-minute positions, the ring is interrupted by tiny diamond-shaped cutouts with prominent applied numeral set just within. Time telling is handled with polished lume-filled baton hands, here complemented by a color-coordinated Aero-style GMT hand. The superluminova present in the dial and hands of the piece, which has faux age effect on the black dial variant, is effective and still adequate for telling the time at a glance in darker conditions. At noon, we have the Longines wordmark, winged hourglass, and automatic text with Zulu time, 5 applied stars, and printed chronometer text at 6. A subtly faceted date window gives way to a color-matched date wheel in the symmetrical 6 o'clock position. And looking at this dial design, it follows the format of what an aviation watch should be. Easily legible, symmetrical, and intuitive to read at a glance. While unfortunately not in view beneath the safety of this case back, which features yet another winged hourglass logo, the caliber inside this Longines Spirit Zulu time presents the watch's strongest single value proposition, a totally new, cost-certified GMT movement in the caliber L844.4. One of the many benefits of Longines' inclusion among the Swatch Group's powerful assembly of brands is a heightened level of access to and collaboration with ETA, the Swiss powerhouse when it comes to third-party movement manufacturing. So while this range of movements can't be said to be in-house technically, it's probably more in-house than some that may be claiming that they are. And they do offer an elevated sensation of value compared to, as well as better spec, compared to something like the ETA 2893 or the SW330 collar GMT movements you might otherwise find in this price point in a GMT watch. For even more added value, this caliber also comes with a silicone balance spring that should help avoid the harmful effects of magnetic fields. And of course, with this being a true GMT movement, the first crown position also offers isolated adjustment of the local hour hand without stopping the balance wheel in the process, making this watch an excellent option for frequent travelers or who need to track multiple time zones while on the go. In terms of general specifications here, you're looking at 25,200 vibrations per hour, 3.5 hertz, does feature hacking and hand winding, and a nice power reserve of 72 hours. And speaking anecdotally to the accuracy of these two examples, we tested them at 5 different positions. These are COSC certified movements, so you typically don't have to worry about this, but just to double check that everything is running up to speed there, they were running well within the parameters, with the black dial variant running between -1 to 4 seconds a day when testing across those 5 different positions, and then the blue dial with the leather strap coming in with 0 to +4 seconds a day when testing across those 5 positions. All right, so now to unpack looking at the Longines Spirit Zulu Time GMTs. So when I had the opportunity to see all the new releases from Longines this year, these were certainly ones that jumped out right away. As Longines is figuring out what is that new sports offering from the brand, it seems that the Spirit is going to be that type of line that they can build upon. That's for 2 reasons. One, I think when you look at the general specifications for the dollar amount, they do a great job across the board for it delivering in that segment. So to see an extension of the GMT on top of that format with their history, of course, with aviation timepieces being a backbone to the reasoning here, I think it just simply makes sense. Now, looking at the watch itself and its positioning within the market, you have north of it some other traditional, maybe in-house GMTs that typically are not going to become available until around $4,000 to $5,000, if not higher, as you're starting to scale up. So this is falling and undershooting many of those different offerings from other luxury brands. So you get pretty good value here for a true GMT movement. Finishing with the case, bracelet, it's all there. Honestly, the Spirit bracelets are simply fantastic, and I like the modifications that they've made to that end link to allow it to not wear as far out as some of those others from the previous iterations of Spirit models. But in extension to that bracelet, you also are getting a very clean case finish, dial design, and everyday usability when it comes to that true GMT function, 100 meters of water resistance, sapphire crystal, and ceramic insert along the outside. A couple things that I would point out, I think are going to maybe be some points of consideration for those on the more negative side. One's going to, of course, be the size. This is going to size certain people out. I would say it does wear pretty true to the 42mm case, if not a tad smaller, but this is a larger watch, and I think the lume could be a tad better, but I think these are some very strong new releases from Longines. Sporty, also offering that GMT functionality in a price range that allows them to really excel from the competition. All right, everybody, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That really does help out the channel. But also, if you're in the market for any of the watches featured in this video, definitely check it out on Baldassarre.com and in the links in the description. We're a full authorized dealer for all the new products that we sell on our site. Quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, and a full factory warranty for all the products that we offer. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I'll see you all very soon.